What is Substack Notes? How do I use them? Do I post from my publication or my personal profile? Is there any strategy to it? I hear these questions a lot in the comments, and I totally get it. Learning a new platform can feel overwhelming, especially when it's multiple things combined into one. Substack at its core is an email marketing platform meets a blog, but as it's grown, it's evolved into so much more. For all the unique ways I've been using Substack, you'll want to check out this video. One major feature that looks familiar to most and brings up a lot of controversy in conversation is their addition of Substack Notes. It's the social media side of Substack. To keep it simple, your publication is where your writing or creations live as a magazine-style blog-like archive. And when you hit publish on that piece, it's how your email subscribers get to hear from you. And when they comment in the comments, it's how your community gets to grow. Your profile, which is another thing you'll see on Substack, is like your author bio. It says, this is the author who created this magazine, but it also plays a role in your Substack notes. In this case, your profile is like your Facebook page. You post and it shows up in the notes feed, not your subscribers' inbox. So what's the point of notes? And what's the difference between creating there and creating in your publication? Notes was created for in-app, bite-sized conversations, a way to share your work and connect with more people. And let's be honest, algorithms have worked pretty well for other companies, so I can see why Substack wanted to add it. Creating on Notes is pretty much the same as creating on Facebook. You share a thought, image, video, host a live, or share a link, and anyone scrolling their Substack Notes feed will be able to see it, either because they follow you or somebody that they follow commented, liked, or restacked, which means reshared what you had put out. The only people who can see this are the people who are looking at Substack Notes. It is not the same as your publication where your long-form content lives and is emailed to your subscribers. But it is a way for you to share what you've created with those who are not already subscribed. The problem is, if you will, that a lot of us flock to Substack to escape creating short-form content, the attention game, and the algorithms controlling what we see. So rightfully so, Notes has received a lot of skepticism from the Substack community that's already been there, and I find myself sometimes in that boat. I only use Substack Notes for 3 things. First, sharing what I feel are the most impactful quotes from what I've created or the essence of what that creation was. Here's how I do that. If you take a look at the most recent post I've created, I'm just going to pick a random sentence just to show you how to do it. You'll highlight whatever that sentence is that was impactful to you that you want to share with more people. When you highlight it, you have the opportunity to do a few things. You can type out a little bit. I will take the major point that I think would really stick out when somebody is on Substack Notes, and then I might copy and paste the few sentences before that and paste it into here. So you get to hear more of my writing, but also you visually get to see it in a pleasing way. The nice thing here is that you can edit it without having to make a whole graphic like the old school Instagram and Canva days. You can take that quote, you can change the background colors. You can't choose those background colors, they're provided for you, but you can even use the main image that you've chosen. And so there are a few ways to edit this. You can also center it versus left adjust it. So there's a couple ways that you can play with it. You can upload a video or a picture instead if you'd like, but this is a quick and easy way to be able to share the amazing work that you've created with people who haven't already seen it and might enjoy hearing what you have to say about that topic. The second thing I use Substack Notes for is a way to remember what impacted me from others' creations. Here's what that looks like. Let's say I'm in my inbox and I'm reading an article and I'm really enjoying it. Something really sticks out to me, a phrase, a quote, maybe it's the essence of what the article is. Well, instead of just taking it in and then forgetting about it, which tends to happen, I will highlight it and then I'll restack that note. And one cool thing is it does share that with others so that they're able to see the amazing work. It curates what I'm interested in, but the other beautiful thing is that I can then have an archive to remember it. Lastly, I've used Substack Notes for lives. Here's why I like this feature. Because if I'm going to record an interview with somebody, of course I can do that on Zoom. But why not do it in a space where more people can see it? So similar to Instagram Live, A Substack Live is you hop on through the notes section. You can invite a collaborator. So in this case, I worked with the amazing Lindsay Caldor. We had a conversation. And then not only does it notify her audience, but it notifies mine. So you're able to grow your community with like-minded people who you've curated. When you hop on the live, there is a waiting room. And so you can sit there and you can talk with each other, strategize if you need. You'll press go live, and just like on Instagram, then you'll be live for the Substack community. When you do that, you can also send out an email to your email list, which lets them know that you're going live. And afterwards, if you've chosen to post this for either your free or your paid community, it'll link to that post. So if they missed it, they'll still be able to see it or be prompted to join your paid community in order to see it. So I love that it's multi-leveled, right? Normally you would have to do an Instagram live and send out a bunch of emails to let them know in a separate platform, and then constantly post about it that day, again, to gain people's attention. Instead of doing all of that with Substack Live, I can do the recording that I was going to do regardless, allow people to see it, notify them just by hitting publish, and if they've missed it, they're directed to that page that already exists. I just think it's a beautiful way to bring it all together. And when you're on live, it's going to be vertical. That's how you'll have your camera set up. But as you can see on the screen here, once you go to post it, they'll automatically adjust it. So it could be in landscape, which I think is huge. They also do use AI on the back end, so you can create short clips and those will be oriented in portrait for you, or I think you could choose landscape as well. So I just think it's beautiful that like all these things that used to take us forever or not even be an option are able to be done with one click of a button on Substack. It just makes your life easier and gives that creation multiple different forms to live in. I know others have seen great success and opportunity from using Substack Notes. They've gone viral, their work has been seen, their community grew. And I think that's amazing. But for me, I didn't want to get sucked back into that algorithm-driven world. So I really use Substack Notes as a bookmarker, as a tool to make live interviews easier, and to start small conversations that aren't ready for a full article yet. But that's not to say that the way I use Notes is how you need to. There's so many different ways to use it. Although I have noticed what feels great for those of us who are already there and what makes us cringe. Using Notes genuinely goes a long way. Those who come on and insincerely try a template or to tell others what to do or to be a spammy Sammy with their work, we can feel it and we cringe. We boo. We want to protect this sacred space that's been created. And honestly, we want to say like, not up in here. We're not doing this here. While I wasn't active in Notes when it first started, I've heard the lore that it was a magical place where everyone was having real conversations, cheering each other on, and sharing bookish or writing memes that made others smile and feel seen. That's the side of Notes I would love to see more of. The curation of your vibe. I've seen some people sharing images of the vibe their publication offers. I.e., a person who talks about slow living might be using Notes to curate some Pinterest-like vibey pictures, sharing this as the visual embodiment of their recent post or publication, or just because it's what they're liking right now. I've seen people beautifully integrate their words with imagery to tell more of a story. And even though AI can write a killer note for you that will probably go viral, I think we're craving more human connection and less questioning who wrote this. So if you're gonna use Notes, I'd recommend figuring out two things. Why are you planning on using it? And how can you make it undeniably you? If you're going to spend time on Notes, the real magic is using it in a way that actually supports the bigger thing you're creating, your publication. And honestly, this is where a lot of people get stuck, thinking, okay, I know why I want to use Notes, but I still don't know what to actually post. I get it. I didn't want to be on Notes contributing to more online noise either. I only wanted to use the tool if it was supporting what I was building and if it genuinely served the people who came across it. That's why I created my own personal AI bots, not to write for me, but to help me make sense of my ideas, clarify what I actually want to say, and curate notes that feel worth sharing instead of just posting to post. You can find my idea generator bot and growth bot inside my Substack Starter Kit. They're there to help you brainstorm ideas that sound like you. Ideas that expand your publication without pulling you back into the short form, algorithm-driven mindset so many of us came to Substack to escape. They help you uncover what's aligned with your tone, your energy, your creative world. So Notes becomes an extension of your publication, not a distraction from it. If you're starting, if you're feeling stuck, or if you simply want clarity around what's worth sharing, the starter kit and these AI bots might be exactly what will help you move forward. Not to chase virality, but to articulate your vision more powerfully. I'd love to share them with you. You can learn more at the link below.